Welcome to the Learn English Lab. Today's podcast, English Listening Practice podcast topic name is 10 Habits to Become Fluent in English. This is the deep dive, and we're thrilled to have you join us. We're going to cut through the noise today and really reveal the habits that unlock English fluency. And this isn't about rote memorization or, endless grammar drills. It's really about shifting your entire relationship with English, making it an intuitive, natural, and genuinely effortless part of your daily life.
Indeed. And when we talk about true English fluency, we're aiming for something deeper than just grammatical correctness or big vocabulary. We're talking about the ability to actually think directly in English, to express yourself with, the same ease and spontaneity as a native speaker might. And this journey, it isn't built on cramming now and then. It's about consistently weaving English into the fabric of your daily routine, using carefully chosen, really impactful habits.
And what a critical time this is for that kind of mastery. I mean, in our increasingly connected world, English fluency doesn't just open doors. It can genuinely transform your experience for career advancement, travel, engaging with global media, or even just forging deeper connections with people from, diverse backgrounds. So consider this deep dive your practical blueprint. We've pulled together a wealth of research and real-world learner experiences, not just to tell you what to do, but to uncover the kind of surprising how and the compelling why behind these methods, these really effective methods.
That's a great way to put it. Throughout our conversation, we'll explore the fundamental principles underpinning each habit, the neurological science, the proven strategies, and the tangible impact these practices have. Our goal today is to equip you with a really robust, evidence-backed understanding, giving you crystal clear insight into why these habits work so well and how you can apply them to achieve significant lasting gains in your fluency.
Okay, let's kick things off then. Our first transformative habit: immerse yourself in English daily. Imagine English not as a subject, stuck in textbooks or classrooms, but as the very air you breathe, the water you swim in. It's about transforming your entire linguistic environment, letting the language seep into every corner of your day until it feels, intuitive. The goal here is to eventually swim effortlessly, right? Without even thinking about the strokes.
That idea of effortless swimming, that's precisely what the science of immersion supports. The real power of this habit lies in how it profoundly accelerates fluency, because it simultaneously sharpens comprehension, rapidly expands vocabulary, and deepens cultural understanding, all at once. Studies have consistently shown that learners in immersive environments develop grammatical accuracy and lexical depth. That's basically having a rich and precise vocabulary. They develop it at a significantly faster pace compared to those just using conventional methods. For instance, research from dual language immersion programs gives us compelling evidence. Students in these settings, they don't just get better at listening and speaking. They also show cognitive benefits like enhanced problem-solving skills. It's like a whole brain workout.
A brain workout, I like that. And it works on a deeper level too, you mentioned.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
At a neurological level, this works because your brain is incredibly adaptable. It literally rewires itself with consistent exposure, that process we call neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, right.
So your brain forms new connections to process English automatically. This dramatically reduces your reliance on direct translation from your first language, your L1, this L1 interference, where your native language sometimes kind of subtly dictates your English thought patterns. Well, immersion effectively minimizes that.
Which is huge for adult learners, I imagine.
It really is, yes. And long-term studies confirm this too. Daily immersion yields substantial compounding gains. Participants often report achieving fluency milestones maybe 20 to 30% faster than those who don't adopt such an immersive approach. It's not just a small edge, it's a significant acceleration.
20 to 30% faster. That's not just an edge, that's a game changer. But okay, let's be real. For many of us, moving to an English-speaking country just isn't feasible. So how do we create this English ocean right where we are without packing our bags? This is where we get into some really actionable strategies. First off, I love what I call the device switcheroo. It's simple. Change the language settings on your phone, your favorite apps, your web browser, set them all to English. Imagine getting daily notifications, prompts, all those interface cues, all in English. It's subtle, but it's an incredibly powerful way to passively pick up vocabulary without even trying, really.
That passive absorption is key.
Exactly. Then there's the media marathon. Dive into podcasts or videos related to your hobbies, your passions, things you already enjoy. Start with English subtitles if you need them, that's fine. But challenge yourself to gradually phase them out. turn them off sometimes. This trains your ear for pure auditory immersion, tuning into natural speech rhythms and intonation. You can also try home hacks. Physically label things around your house in English. Your desk, the kettle, the window. Even more effectively, try narrating your daily routines aloud to yourself in English. I'm boiling water for tea, or I'm putting on my shoes now. This practice creates direct, tangible links between words and the actions or objects.
Forging those connections is vital.
Right, and to cultivate more focused exposure, you can think about creating English bubbles. Designate specific English-only times or spaces. Maybe during dinner conversations, everyone tries to speak English. Or set aside time for journaling, but only in English. And to keep yourself motivated, stay on track. Track and tweak your efforts. Use a language learning app or even just a simple notebook to monitor your daily exposure time. Set a target, maybe 1 to 2 hours daily, just as a start, and then adjust it based on your progress and how comfortable you feel. Finally, for that deeper cultural understanding, try some cultural dives. Follow English news outlets or social media channels that interest you. This isn't just about current events. It's a fantastic way to grasp idioms, slang, cultural references in their natural habitat, so to speak.
Those practical tips are absolutely spot on, and we see them come to life in really inspiring ways for learners. Take Maria, for example. She's a Brazilian expat working in a multinational company. She fully embraced immersion, switched all her device settings to English, that constant subtle push. But more importantly, she made a habit of consistently listening to English podcasts during her commute while doing chores. And it wasn't just passive listening. She'd actively try to predict what might be said next or mentally summarize sections. Within just a few months, she found herself not only understanding her colleagues much better, but crucially, confidently pitching new product ideas in English.
Wow, that's a huge leap.
It was. The constant exposure had helped her brain start to frame her thoughts directly in English. It eliminated that mental translation lag that used to make her presentations feel, hesitant and less impactful.
That's amazing. And you mentioned another example.
Yes, Alex. He wasn't in an English-speaking country, so he had to be creative. He ingeniously crafted a home immersion setup, used a combination of language learning apps for structure, and actively sought out online language exchange platforms for conversation. But his breakthrough, he said, came when he started listening to English-speaking streamers playing his favorite video games.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, initially he struggled, but the combination of visual context and, the passionate conversation made the language come alive for him. This consistent, varied exposure transformed his basic English into robust, confident fluency. It allowed him to travel internationally and genuinely connect with people, not just, get by. And these narratives, they aren't just isolated successes. They directly echo the research findings we talked about. They consistently validate immersion's potent effect for non-native speakers, showing how it can lead to rapid, really profound gains in proficiency and practical application.
Okay, so if habit 1 is about diving into that English ocean and soaking it all in, then habit 2 is about learning to actually swim in that ocean, actively making strokes moving forward. Which brings us to our next crucial step. Practice speaking regularly. This is the vital bridge, isn't it? It transforms all your passive knowledge, everything you've heard, read, studied, into active, real-world communication. It's what moves you from those hesitant, maybe isolated utterances to a confident, fluid flow of expression.
This habit is absolutely critical because regular speaking practice doesn't just make you sound better, it actively builds new neural pathways in your brain.
Those pathways again.
Yes. They're essential for rapid word recall, making your speech much more spontaneous, less effortful. This not only significantly boosts your overall fluency, but also dramatically reduces speaking anxiety, which, let's face it, can be a huge barrier for many learners. Studies consistently highlight that conversational practice is pivotal for integrating various cognitive skills, things like memory, attention, logical reasoning, leading to marked improvements in both pronunciation and grammatical accuracy.
So it connects everything together.
Precisely. And the real magic here is how speaking also enhances perspective taking. It offers deeper cultural insights too. When you're actively engaging in conversation, you're not just speaking. You're interpreting, responding, adapting in real time. Learners who consistently prioritize speaking often demonstrate up to 50% faster progress in their oral communication skills compared to those who don't.
50% faster, that's huge.
It is. Furthermore, evidence from English as a Foreign Language Research, or EFL, it clearly shows that consistent daily speaking practice effectively shifts linguistic knowledge. From that passive understanding where you just recognize words, to an active, usable communication skill where you can spontaneously use them. And looking ahead, the role of AI-assisted practice is becoming increasingly important here. These tools could potentially accelerate this process even further, offering virtually unlimited sessions for personalized, tailored feedback, helping you refine your speech patterns and vocabulary in a low-pressure kind of judgment-free zone.
50% faster progress in oral skills, that's incredibly motivating. But often, the challenge is just getting started, right? Or overcoming that initial fear of making mistakes. What's maybe the biggest misconception people have about speaking practice? And then, what are some of the most practical, maybe even surprising ways listeners can integrate it daily without feeling totally overwhelmed?
That's an excellent question. I think the biggest misconception is that speaking practice always has to involve another person, or that it has to be a formal lesson. So many learners wait for the perfect opportunity, the right partner, the right moment. And, well, often that perfect moment never quite arrives. But there's so many ways to start small, on your own even.
Absolutely. And that's where these practical methods come in. For weaving speaking into your daily routine, you can start with solo monologues, seriously. Simply describe your day, your thoughts, your plans aloud, to yourself. This builds rhythm and confidence without any external pressure or that fear of making mistakes. It's like a mental rehearsal, getting your mouth used to forming the words.
A very effective, low-stakes way to begin.
Definitely. Another powerful tip, record sessions. Use your phone, everyone has one. Record yourself speaking, maybe reading something aloud or doing one of those solo monologues. Then later, listen back. Analyze the recordings. This lets you identify areas for accent refinement, maybe spot recurring grammar errors you didn't notice. And you can track your improvements week over week. That gives you tangible proof you are getting better. For external practice, you could try exchange apps, things like Tandem, where you can pair with language partners for structured, maybe themed conversations. These platforms provide a safe, supportive space to practice with others who are also learning or native speakers happy to help.
Stepping into those interactions is key.
It is. And to really prepare for real-world stuff, try role plays. Simulate real-life scenarios like a job interview, ordering food, customer service interactions. You can even time yourself to gauge and improve your fluency, focusing on smooth delivery, not necessarily perfection, and for consistency, establish daily quotas. This sounds strict, but it works. Commit to a minimum, say, 15 minutes of speaking practice daily, and gradually increase that duration as you feel more comfortable. Using timers can be really effective here, just to maintain focus during that dedicated time. And crucially, seek feedback loops. Join online speaking groups or communities where you can get constructive critiques. The key here is to actively incorporate those corrections immediately into your next practice session. That makes learning a continuous self-correcting cycle.
These strategies are genuinely effective, and we've seen them lead to remarkable transformations that go beyond just the language itself. Consider Ahmed's journey. He was a project manager, aiming for an international firm. He diligently practiced daily monologues, describing his project updates, challenges, aloud to himself in English, even when he felt a bit silly doing it.
Yeah, I can imagine feeling silly at first.
Right, but he pushed through. And he also actively participated in local English meetups, initially just listening, then hesitantly speaking, and eventually he was leading discussions. This consistent output directly contributed to his success in getting that desirable job at a multinational company. His breakthrough wasn't just about knowing English words, it was about owning his voice in English, allowing him to present complex proposals with incredible clarity and confidence.
That's powerful, owning your voice.
Yes. Then there's the inspiring example of another learner who had a particular challenge with intonation. English intonation can be tricky. She meticulously shadowed native speakers, repeatedly listening to and mimicking specific phrases, entire dialogues from videos, focusing intensely on the subtle rises and falls of their voices.
Like really dissecting it.
Exactly. Her method involved isolating short clips, repeating them dozens of times, then recording herself and comparing. Through this intensive, very targeted practice, she achieved a remarkable debate-level fluency within just a single year. Not only mastering pronunciation, but also that persuasive rhythm of native speech. And again, these aren't just anecdotes. They perfectly align with studies showing that consistent active output, especially through focused speaking, leads to significant breakthroughs in confidence and overall speaking ability, moving the language from just theory in your head to practical, fluid, even persuasive communication.
Okay, moving on to our third essential habit. Build vocabulary consistently. Think of vocabulary as the essential building blocks of the language. Just like a strong building needs diverse, sturdy materials. A truly fluent English speaker needs a rich and varied vocabulary to articulate thoughts with precision and nuance. Strategic growth here is absolutely fundamental.
Yes, and the beauty of strategic vocabulary acquisition isn't just about cramming more words into your head. It's about making them stick. It significantly enhances retention, particularly when new words are learned within meaningful contexts.
Context is key, right? Not just lists.
Absolutely. Studies have shown techniques like spaced repetition, where you review new words at increasing intervals, can boost long-term memory for vocabulary by an impressive 200%.
200%.
Yes. It's about embedding words into your long-term memory, not just temporarily recalling them for a test. For English language learners, or ELLs, anyone learning English as a second or foreign language, explicit strategies like forming associations, creating mental images using mnemonic devices, these markedly improve both academic and everyday use of new words. It's not enough to just passively encounter a word, you need to actively engage with it somehow. Research suggests you generally need about 10 to 15 exposures to a new word to really solidify understanding and aid comprehension.
10 to 15 times.
Wow. Yes, encountering it different ways, reading, listening, trying to use it. Furthermore, employing varied methods for vocabulary building is key to preventing those learning plateaus. Relying on just one technique, like flashcards alone, can become monotonous and less effective over time. A diverse approach contributes to gains across both writing and speaking skills, because richer vocabulary directly translates into more nuanced and sophisticated expression.
A 200% boost in retention from spaced repetition, that's a compelling number. But often, the challenge is simply sticking with it consistently, isn't it? Especially when there are just so many words to learn. What's your advice for maintaining that discipline while still strategically expanding vocabulary every single day?
That's a very common challenge. It's not just about learning words in isolation, but making them part of you. The key is integrating them actively into your life, your thoughts, your communication, not just passively listing them somewhere.
That makes perfect sense. Active integration. So how can we strategically expand our vocabulary every day and make these words active? Here are some methods for effective vocabulary expansion. First, try contextual flashcards. Digital flashcard apps like Anki are great, sure, but the critical step is creating cards not just with single words, but with full sentences and real-world examples. This ensures you're learning practical application, natural usage, not just memorizing a definition out of context.
Contextual learning is much more powerful for retention.
Exactly. Then, try themed weeks. Dedicate each week to focusing on specific categories that genuinely interest you. Maybe technology or health, sustainability, travel, whatever floats your boat. Aim to learn maybe 7 new related words daily within that theme. This helps build interconnected knowledge and makes the words feel more relevant and easier to remember. When you're doing your reading notes, make it a habit. Jot down unfamiliar terms you encounter while reading articles, books, even social media. But the crucial follow-up is making a conscious effort to reuse these words in your own writing or conversations within the next day or two. Lock them in.
That active recall and usage is vital.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate games and quizzes either. Engaging with fun, interactive tools, Wordle, vocabulary apps, Duolingo exercises can make retention enjoyable and really effective. Consistency is vital, so dedicate time for daily reviews. Spend just 10 minutes each day revisiting previously learned words, especially using apps that incorporate those spaced repetition algorithms to optimize your review schedule. And finally, really emphasize active use. Immediately incorporating newly learned words into conversations or personal journal entries is paramount. This active engagement solidifies your understanding and moves them from your passive recognition vocabulary into your active, usable vocabulary, making them truly yours.
These strategies are truly powerful, and the success stories we see consistently confirm their impact. Think about Lena. She had a good grasp of basic English, but struggled to express complex ideas. She committed to significantly expanding her vocabulary by consistently reading English novels. Started with young adult fiction, then gradually moved to more sophisticated literary works. And she didn't just read, she kept a digital journal of new words, looked them up, rewrote sentences using them. This dedicated approach not only helped her ace the IELTS exam with a surprisingly high vocabulary score, but it gave her the confidence to study abroad where she could articulate academic arguments with precision.
So literature became her vocabulary tool.
Exactly. Her breakthrough was realizing literature wasn't just entertainment. It was a deep wellspring of practical, usable vocabulary. Another inspiring example is Fabiola, a physicist who moved to an English-speaking country for research. She already spoke English, but her scientific presentations lacked the specialized terminology needed. She meticulously built a specialized terminology list for her field by reading English research papers, attending online talks, created custom flashcards for terms like quantum entanglement or superconductivity with precise definitions and usage. By focusing on the vocabulary specific to her domain, she could present complex scientific concepts confidently in English, earning the respect of her international colleagues.
Tailoring it to her specific need.
Precisely. And these narratives consistently mirror the research findings. Targeted, consistent vocabulary growth demonstrably propels learners towards greater fluency, proving it's an indispensable component of comprehensive language mastery, both general and specialized.
Okay, let's turn our attention now to habit 4. Listen actively to native speakers. And the key word here is actively. This isn't about just having English TV on in the background. It's crucial for tuning your ear to the subtle nuances of spoken English. The rhythm, intonation, flow, even unspoken cultural cues. It's what allows you to move beyond just understanding individual words and truly engage in genuine, flowing, meaningful dialogues.
Yes, the profound impact of active listening is how it dramatically improves phonetic awareness, allowing you to distinguish subtle sound differences like ship versus she. And it also cultivates linguistic intuition, that gut feeling for what sounds right. Studies consistently show this leads to enhanced overall proficiency across all skills. Specific techniques like shadowing, you mentioned this earlier.
Are you mimicking?
Yes, where you listen and immediately mimic the speaker's intonation, rhythm, pronunciation. It's incredibly powerful. This practice actively builds natural speech patterns and significantly reduces comprehension gaps because you're internalizing the sound-meaning connection. It becomes almost muscle memory for your mouth and ears.
So you're connecting the sound directly to how you'd produce it.
Exactly. Research on EFL learners directly links these active listening practices to improved speaking abilities. This often happens through peer interactions, listening and responding in real time, and through the complex process of auditory processing itself. It's not just about hearing sounds, it's about processing them into meaning. Active listening involves a complex interplay: perception, identifying sounds, parsing, breaking speech into understandable chunks, and utilization, using that information. This holistic engagement leads to comprehensive language schemes that go way beyond just understanding.
It sounds like active listening is truly a multi-layered skill, almost like decoding a complex puzzle in real time. So what are some actionable ways we can hone these listening skills every day, moving from just passively hearing to truly understanding and processing? Here are some practical tips. First, cultivate diverse audio. Don't just stick to one type of content or one accent. Alternate between various materials, podcasts on different subjects, TED Talks, documentaries. Expose yourself to different accents: British, American, Australian, Indian English, etc. This broad exposure builds adaptability and makes your ear more flexible.
Variety is definitely key to avoid getting stuck.
Definitely. Then try shadow and transcribe. We mentioned shadowing. Mimic native speakers, repeat after them, try to match their rhythm and intonation closely. After shadowing, challenge yourself. Try to transcribe what you heard, write it down. Later, compare your transcription to the original text if it's available. This helps pinpoint areas for improvement, especially with tricky sounds or how words connect in fast speech. Note-taking is also key during listening. Jot down key points, unfamiliar phrases, interesting expressions. This helps maintain active engagement, ensures you're not just letting the words wash over you, and aids retention.
Keeps the mind focused.
Exactly. For effortless consistency, try daily integration. Pair your listening practice with routine chores or your commute. Listen to a podcast while doing dishes, walking the dog, on the bus. This ensures consistent exposure without necessarily needing dedicated study time carved out. Once you've got the basics down, move on to advanced drills. Progressively challenge yourself with faster speech, different regional dialects, more complex or abstract topics. And for a collaborative approach, try group listens. Discuss podcast episodes or audio clips with peers or in a language group. This gives you deeper insights, you hear different interpretations, and it fosters collaborative learning. Plus, it turns listening into a social activity and a chance to practice speaking about what you heard.
These methods are incredibly effective, and we've seen firsthand how they lead to remarkable breakthroughs, not just in comprehension, but in confidence too. Take Juan, a marketing professional. He initially struggled with fast-paced business calls, understanding the subtle sarcasm colleagues sometimes used.
Oh yeah, sarcasm in a second language is tough.
Very tough. He meticulously shadowed English-speaking YouTubers who discussed marketing strategies, gave business advice. He'd pause, repeat phrases, really practice their intonation. By repeatedly listening and mimicking, he mastered those nuanced rhythms, even the implicit meanings, allowing him to navigate professional communication with much greater ease, even inject his own personality. His breakthrough was realizing effective business communication wasn't just what you say, but how you say it.
The delivery, right?
Exactly. Another inspiring instance is a learner who achieved B2 fluency. That's a significant milestone, independent user level, by dedicating over 1,000 hours specifically to active listening input.
1,000 hours, wow.
It sounds like a lot, but spread over time, it's achievable. And it wasn't just background noise. It was dedicated listening to a wide range of content, news, comedy, always with an active goal of comprehension. This powerful story just demonstrates the sheer impact of consistent auditory engagement. These experiences powerfully validate active listening's indispensable role. It's not just hearing, it's understanding, processing, internalizing the very rhythm and soul of the language.
Okay, habit number 5. Let's dive into the written word. Read widely in English. This habit is such a powerful gateway, absorbing new grammar structures, expanding vocabulary, encountering new ideas. It really cultivates an intuitive grasp of the language, almost like your brain is absorbing patterns in natural phrasing without you consciously trying sometimes.
Yes, the real genius of extensive reading is how it allows for natural language acquisition. It's a less explicit, more organic way to absorb the language, often called incidental learning.
Incidental learning, I like that.
It significantly enhances competence across all language skills. Reading, writing, listening, even speaking indirectly. Reading doesn't just build vocabulary and expose you to correct grammar and context. It also fosters enjoyment in the learning process, which is incredibly important for long-term motivation. It offers both cognitive benefits like improved comprehension and affective benefits like increased confidence and reduced anxiety about complex texts.
So it makes learning feel less like work sometimes.
Exactly. Studies consistently demonstrate this incidental acquisition of new vocabulary and grammar through consistent reading. You pick up words, sentence patterns, just by seeing them used naturally in context, often without realizing you're learning them until you suddenly find yourself using them correctly. This leads to general proficiency gains across the board. And what's important to emphasize is that reading, regardless of your current level, it's instrumental in developing that natural feel for the language's rhythm and structure. You start to intuitively know what sounds right or looks right, even if you can't instantly recall the specific grammar rule, like building an internal linguistic compass.
That concept of natural acquisition and building an internal linguistic compass is really compelling. So how can we effectively integrate wide reading into our daily lives, especially when maybe a complex English text feels a bit daunting at first? Here are some diverse reading strategies. Start with graded starts. This means beginning with simpler materials. Things like simplified readers designed for language learners, engaging children's books, or articles written with a more controlled vocabulary. As your confidence and comprehension grow, then gradually progress. Move to more complex genres, news articles, captivating fiction, academic texts related to your interests.
Starting at the right level is crucial to avoid frustration.
Absolutely. Next, cultivate a variety mix. Don't limit yourself to just one type of reading. Blend different content, daily news, engaging fiction, specialized blogs, online forums that align with your passions. This exposes you to varied writing styles, vocabularies, subject matters, keeps things fresh and interesting. For an added boost, try aloud practice. Combine reading with speaking. Read texts aloud. This creates a multi-sensory learning experience. It reinforces pronunciation and intonation while you're absorbing the written word, making that connection between the visual and auditory aspects of English stronger.
That's a great way to activate multiple learning channels.
Right. To maintain momentum, engage in goal setting. Encourage yourself to set specific, achievable reading goals, like reading 20 pages daily or finishing one news article a day. After reading, try summarizing the key ideas in your own words. Even just mentally or jotting down a few notes, this deepens comprehension and retention, ensuring you're not just skimming. For a social aspect, consider discussions. Maybe join online or local book clubs, where you can discuss what you've read with others. This further reinforces comprehension and offers valuable opportunities for speaking practice, articulating your thoughts on the material. Finally, leverage digital aids. E-readers with built-in dictionaries are fantastic. They provide seamless, instant access to word definitions, minimizing interruptions in your reading flow. Makes the whole experience much smoother, less frustrating.
These reading habits are profoundly effective, and we have many inspiring examples. Consider Sophie's journey. She'd recently moved to an English-speaking country, felt quite isolated initially, struggled to follow casual conversations, understand local humor. She began by reading simple graphic novels and comics. The visuals helped make the language accessible, enjoyable.
A starting point.
Yes. From there, she gradually progressed to popular fiction, then more complex literary classics. This extensive reading significantly aided her social integration. She started understanding nuanced conversations, picking up cultural references, even using relevant idioms herself. Her breakthrough was realizing books were her secret weapon for truly connecting with her new community.
That's fantastic. Connecting through reading.
Exactly. Another remarkable example is Robbie. Despite taking many English classes, he struggled with oral communication. Felt his speaking was always hesitant. He achieved impressive fluency primarily through extensive reading. Spent hours each day with English novels, nonfiction. What makes his story compelling is that this approach proved instrumental in overcoming his speaking challenges. By building that strong, intuitive foundation through reading, internalizing sentence structures, vocabulary passively, his speaking ability naturally improved. He found the words and grammar just sort of came to him more easily when he spoke, because he had absorbed so much through his eyes.
Wow, so reading directly fueled his speaking.
It seems so. These narratives powerfully underscore the transformative, often underestimated impact reading has on overall fluency, bridging that gap between passive understanding and active, confident communication.
All right, habit number 6. Write in English every day. This one is truly vital. It's where you not only refine your thoughts and organize ideas, but also proactively catch those grammar errors or awkward phrasings that might easily get overlooked in spoken input or just listening. Writing forces a level of precision that, well, few other habits really demand.
Yes, the real power of consistent writing is how it actively reinforces all language skills, leading to improved comprehension and overall fluency. There's substantial evidence linking regular writing practice to significant gains in reading comprehension, too.
Interesting connection.
It is. When you write, you're actively constructing sentences, recalling vocabulary, applying grammar rules. This deeply solidifies your understanding of how the language works. Daily output, in particular, enhances your ability to express ideas clearly and precisely, moving from maybe vague concepts to structured, articulate communication.
So it forces clarity.
Exactly. Writing really makes your brain work hard in a good way, actively juggling vocabulary, grammar rules, structuring thoughts coherently all at once. This mental workout strengthens your proficiency like little else, building crucial neural connections related to language processing and production. Furthermore, meta-analysis studies, which combine results from many different research papers, show significant benefits. Writing practice deepens the understanding of linguistic structures and concepts. It's not just about producing text. It's a deep, active engagement with the mechanics and, well, the artistry of the language.
That's a powerful point about writing as a mental workout, reinforcing so many skills. So how can we realistically integrate daily writing into our routines without feeling like we're back in school writing dreaded essays? What are some actionable tips for making this habit stick and maybe even feel enjoyable?
I think the key is to make it personal and purposeful, to remove that academic pressure. Small, consistent acts of writing are far more effective than trying to, write a novel every day.
That's excellent advice. Small and consistent. So here are some actionable tips. Start a journaling routine. Dedicate time each day, maybe just 10 minutes, to write personal reflections, thoughts, experiences in a journal. This fosters personal growth alongside language development. Creates a safe, low-stakes space to experiment, find your voice in English.
A private space to practice without judgment.
Exactly. Consider online sharing too if you're comfortable. This can be a great way to get feedback, engage with a wider audience, encourage yourself to maybe start a blog on a topic you love, post on social media in English, participate in online forums. You'll not only potentially get feedback, but also engage in written discussions, expanding your practical application. For inspiration, use prompts variety. Many websites or apps offer creative writing prompts. These can spark new ideas, encourage you to explore different writing styles and topics, pushing you beyond your usual comfort zone and into new vocabulary territory.
Stepping outside the comfort zone is where growth happens.
Definitely. Critically, develop an editing focus. After you write something, make it a habit to revise it. Look for clarity, conciseness, accuracy. Use grammar checking tools like Grammarly for initial checks, sure. But more importantly, try to learn from the corrections. Understand why a change is suggested rather than just blindly accepting it. For deeper insights, engage in peer reviews. Exchange written pieces with fellow learners or, if possible, native speakers. Ask for constructive insights. Their fresh eyes can catch things you missed, offer valuable suggestions and perspectives. Lastly, set word targets. Encourage setting daily or weekly word count goals, maybe 200, 500 words. Tracking these provides a sense of accomplishment. It also helps you identify recurring themes or vocabulary you use often, revealing your natural linguistic patterns.
These methods are incredibly effective, and we've seen remarkable transformations through consistent writing. Consider Raj's evolution. He worked in finance, initially struggled writing professional emails that conveyed both professionalism and nuance.
Tricky balance.
Very. He began by meticulously drafting all his internal emails in English, focusing on accuracy and clarity. Spent extra time reviewing them. Over time, this consistent practice, plus asking trusted colleagues for feedback, gave him confidence. He started blogging about financial trends in English. His breakthrough came when one blog post went viral, leading to new job opportunities, significant career advancement. His writing became a powerful pathway to professional growth. It transformed from a challenge into a unique asset.
Wow, from emails to career advancement through blogging.
Exactly. Another powerful example highlights how a group of students, initially really insecure about their writing, transformed that insecurity into a profound sense of pride. They did a consistent writing exchange, shared short stories, journal entries daily, gave gentle feedback. This dedicated, supportive effort daily output, peer learning, allowed them to see tangible improvement. They gained immense confidence in their ability to express themselves effectively in writing. These instances clearly demonstrate writing's powerful contribution to boosting overall English fluency. It's not merely supplementary, it's foundational. It solidifies understanding and enables sophisticated expression.
Okay, now we arrive at a truly transformative habit, one that fundamentally shifts your internal landscape. Habit 7. Think in English. This isn't just about speaking or writing, it's about literally changing your internal monologue. It effectively eliminates those mental delays caused by constantly translating from your first language, making your English truly instantaneous and deeply ingrained.
This habit is utterly crucial because thinking directly in English significantly speeds up your response times in conversations. Studies show a notable reduction in cognitive barriers, that mental speed bump you feel when translating. When learners transition from internal translation to direct English thought, psychological research consistently links this practice to a significant increase in learner confidence and overall proficiency.
Confidence again, yes.
Yes. When you're not constantly translating, you feel more in control, more spontaneous, more assured in your interactions. Furthermore, thinking in English fosters a more natural output. This is evident in the experiences of many successful learners. They report their speech becomes smoother, more idiomatic, less, clunky. Once they start thinking directly in the target language, it's a clear sign the language is becoming deeply internalized, moving from a learned system to an intuitive second nature.
When you talk about reduced cognitive barriers, it immediately makes me think of those moments where I've personally struggled to find the right word in a second language, feeling that mental speed bump of translation. So, for those of us who experience that, how do we practically start cultivating this habit? Thinking directly in English. It can feel a bit abstract at first, can it?
It definitely takes conscious effort to initiate, but it does become more automatic over time. It's really about consciously interrupting that L1 translation loop in your head.
Yeah.
And forcing your brain, gently, to operate solely in English for certain thoughts or moments.
Interrupting the loop. Okay, that's a great way to put it. So here are some creative ways to cultivate thinking in English. Try mental narratives. Throughout your day, just describe your current thoughts, surroundings, planned actions entirely to yourself in English. Like, okay, making tea now, I need to boil the water, or that car's red, wonder where it's going.
It's like having a constant low-volume English conversation just running in your head.
Internal narration, yes. Cultivate paraphrase habits. When you encounter a word you don't know, or you're struggling to express a concept mid-thought, avoid that immediate urge to grab your dictionary or phone. Instead, challenge yourself. Try to paraphrase or describe the concept using the English vocabulary you already possess. This strengthens your existing knowledge and builds your ability to communicate even when specific words escape you. It builds flexibility. For a unique approach, try dream logs. Keep a journal by your bed. Make an effort to record your dreams or your immediate morning thoughts in English first thing. This taps into subconscious language processing. You might be surprised what your brain has been doing overnight.
That's an interesting technique, tapping into the subconscious.
Yeah. Meditation apps can also be surprisingly helpful here. Use English-guided meditation sessions. This practices focusing your mind and processing thoughts directly in the target language, all in a calm, intentional way, training your brain for sustained English thought. And don't feel pressured to be perfect. Engage in a gradual build. Start with simple internal monologues, then gradually expand to more complex descriptions, arguments, even problem-solving scenarios in your head. The goal is progression and consistent effort, not perfection from day one. And finally, strengthen immersion aids. Reinforce that surrounding yourself with English content and environments, like we discussed in Habit 1, that naturally triggers and sustains shifts towards thinking in English, makes the process feel more organic, less forced.
These strategies are truly powerful for internalizing the language, making it your own. We've seen many learners achieve remarkable breakthroughs by adopting this habit. Consider Anya. She found her spoken English was grammatically correct, but it sounded a bit unnatural, maybe translated. She deliberately practiced thinking in English during her daily walks, her commutes, narrated everything she saw, internally planned conversations, even imagined debates with herself, all in English. This consistent internal practice eventually led to her being able to fluently debate complex topics in a public speaking forum.
Wow, from internal thoughts to public debate.
Yes, not just reciting facts, but engaging in spontaneous, nuanced discussion. Her breakthrough was realizing that internal thought directly translated to external fluency and naturalness. Another compelling example, a learner who achieved impressive fluency even without extensive daily interaction with native speakers. Their primary focus was consistent English input, challenging books, complex podcasts, and crucially, cultivating internal thought processes in English. They essentially created their own internal English-speaking world.
So interaction isn't the only way, though. It helps.
Exactly. This shows that while interaction is hugely beneficial, direct thinking in the language plays a pivotal, independent role in achieving that natural, effortless command. These examples powerfully illustrate the role thinking in English plays in making the language truly yours from the inside out.
Okay, habit number 8. This highlights the incredible power of modern technology. Use language learning apps and tools. These digital resources, they often gamify the learning experience, don't they? Transforming what can sometimes feel like a chore into something engaging, often surprisingly addictive. They provide structure, personalized feedback, and keep you hooked, coming back for more.
Yes, the real game changer here is how these digital tools significantly enhance language skills through their interactive nature. Various reviews, studies consistently confirm their effectiveness in boosting vocabulary acquisition, grammar comprehension. Often in a fun, low-pressure environment. They make learning accessible, immediate, highly personalized.
Accessible anywhere, anytime, really.
It's exactly. Studies further validate the effectiveness of these apps for improving both receptive abilities, listening, reading, and communicative abilities, speaking, writing, often through clever interactive exercises, advanced speech recognition features. The key aspect that's truly revolutionized these platforms is the integration of artificial intelligence, AI.
AI is everywhere now, including language apps.
It is. AI within these apps can personalize learning experiences, adapting to your unique strengths and weaknesses, offering tailored feedback in real time. This personalized approach substantially boosts user engagement and motivation, making learners feel seen, supported, challenged at just the right level. The immediate feedback, the adaptive difficulty levels they keep learners in that optimal learning zone, prevents boredom and overwhelm.
It's amazing how AI and gamification have transformed things, making learning so much more interactive and tailored. So how can we optimize our use of these apps and tools to maximize their benefits? Beyond just, mindlessly tapping through exercises to keep a streak alive, here are some practical tips for smart app usage. Firstly, focus on streaks maintenance. Many popular apps like Duolingo use daily streaks as a powerful motivator. It works. Maintaining these streaks helps build and solidify a consistent learning habit, turns daily practice into a routine you don't want to break, creates a real sense of accomplishment.
That consistency is fundamental.
Right. Next, prioritize customization. Most good apps allow this. Customize your experience. Focus on exercises that specifically target your weaknesses or areas you most want to improve. If grammar's a struggle, find apps or modules heavy on grammar. If vocab is lacking, pick apps strong there. For best results, pursue hybrid use. Combine app-based learning with real-world practice. The apps build foundational knowledge, confidence in a controlled environment. But you must then apply that knowledge in actual conversations or writing. Ensure digital learning complements and reinforces practical application. Bridge that gap between the screen and real life.
Absolute critical point. Don't stay only in the app.
Exactly. To stay on track, set up reminders. Use push notifications, in-app reminders. Ensure consistent daily engagement. Avoid missing sessions. Those gentle nudges can make all the difference, especially on busy days. Don't forget progress analytics. Most apps provide data, achievements, vocabulary learned, skills mastered. Review this data regularly. Track your progress, identify areas for improvement, stay motivated by seeing tangible proof of how far you've come. Finally, consider app combos. Use a combination of different apps. Maybe pair Babbel for structured lessons with Memrise for flashcards, or an AI tutor for conversation practice. This variety addresses different learning needs, keeps things fresh, prevents monotony.
Those insights into smart app usage are incredibly valuable. We've seen firsthand how learners integrate these tools successfully, often finding unexpected breakthroughs. For instance, Carlos, a frequent international traveler, he found himself constantly relying on translation apps abroad, which was frustrating.
Yeah, takes you out of the moment.
It does. He committed to using Babbel daily, consistently, dedicated himself to its lessons during his commute. His breakthrough wasn't just learning words, it was realizing he could confidently order food, ask directions, engage in basic small talk without fear. His commitment ultimately led him to achieve functional fluency specifically for travel, allowing him to navigate foreign countries with confidence, genuine connection. Many learners across various levels consistently praise language apps for providing in-depth learning experiences that might otherwise be difficult or expensive to access, like specialized tutors. These platforms really democratize access to high-quality language education, make it available to a wider audience, breaking down geographical and financial barriers.
Making learning more accessible for everyone.
Exactly. These accounts confirm the substantial value of integrating technology. Apps aren't just supplementary. For many, they are a central pillar of their path to fluency, offering flexible, personalized learning.
Okay, our penultimate habit, number 9. Engage with native speakers. This is where the rubber truly meets the road, isn't it? Where all those other habits you've built, your listening, vocab, speaking practice, get put to the ultimate test. Direct interactions with native English speakers are absolutely crucial for testing your adaptability, refining practical communication skills, experiencing the language as it's truly lived, with all its nuances and spontaneous energy.
Yes, the real magic here is that engaging with native speakers doesn't just improve your language skills. It significantly builds confidence and provides invaluable cultural insights that no textbook or app can fully replicate.
The cultural piece is huge.
It really is. There's ample evidence pointing to notable boosts in overall proficiency, especially in spontaneous, real-time conversation. Studies specifically highlight substantial gains in self-confidence derived from regular conversations with native speakers. This isn't just a feeling, it's a measurable improvement in how learners approach and engage with the language, reducing hesitation, anxiety. These interactions are pivotal for refining your accent, improving intonation, developing a nuanced understanding of cultural expressions, colloquialisms. You learn how native speakers really use the language, not just how it's presented formally. It's in these real-time exchanges you truly begin to connect the dots between grammar rules, vocabulary, and authentic natural communication, seeing how they all interplay in dynamic discourse.
That boost in confidence and cultural insight is so vital, especially for feeling truly integrated and comfortable in English. So for many who might feel shy or unsure where to even start, what are some practical, maybe low-pressure ways to proactively seek out and engage in these incredibly valuable conversations?
I think the key is finding environments where the stakes feel low, but the opportunities are real. It's about breaking down that initial barrier, even if it's just for a few minutes at first. Start small.
Lower the stakes. Great starting point. So here are some practical ways. Start by finding meetups. Participate in local English language exchange meetups if they're available near you, or join online conversation groups, virtual events. These are often low-pressure environments specifically designed for practice. Everyone's there with a shared goal.
Shared purpose makes it less intimidating.
Exactly. Explore online forums. Engage in real-time text or voice chats on platforms like Discord servers dedicated to language learning, or even shared hobbies like gaming or books. These communities often have learners and native speakers willing to help, a natural way to connect around shared interests. For a more structured approach, try tandem calls. Schedule regular language exchange calls with partners via apps like Tandem, where you practice speaking both English and their native language. A mutually beneficial learning experience.
The exchange model works well for many.
It does. Consider volunteering. Find volunteer opportunities in roles where English is the primary language, especially those involving interacting with the public, offers authentic, low-pressure conversational practice. In a context where communication is natural and purposeful, focused on the task, not just the language itself, don't be afraid to make bold initiations. Take the initiative sometimes. Start casual conversations with native speakers in everyday situations. Ask for directions, make small talk at a coffee shop, engage with shop assistants. Even small interactions build confidence and mental agility. Finally, always remember feedback requests. Politely ask native speakers for corrections or feedback on your grammar, pronunciation, word choice. Most are happy to help, especially when they see you're genuinely eager to improve.
These real-world applications are truly powerful, and we've seen this play out beautifully in stories like Kim's. Kim had excellent written English but froze when speaking, paralyzed by fear of mistakes.
Very common scenario.
Very. She actively sought out local English conversation groups. And instead of just observing, she challenged herself. Initiate at least one conversation per meeting. Initially terrifying for her. But the supportive environment, the sheer repetition, gradually built her confidence. This not only boosted her fluency through consistent practice, but also significantly advanced her career. Her newfound confidence and communication skills shown in interviews and client meetings. Her breakthrough was realizing her fear of speaking was a bigger barrier than her actual language ability.
Overcoming the fear unlocked everything else.
Exactly. Another compelling example, Jermaine. Lived in a country with very few English native speakers, felt isolated. He successfully used online language exchanges to interact regularly with native speakers from various countries, scheduled daily 30-minute calls, focused on specific topics. This was impactful because it allowed him to overcome geographical distance, proving you don't have to live in an English-speaking country to get authentic interaction and achieve fluency.
Technology bridging the gap again.
Precisely. His breakthrough was the consistent, diverse input he received, which rapidly broadened his understanding of different accents, cultural references. These stories powerfully underscore the critical role of authentic, direct interaction in transforming academic knowledge into fluid, confident, real-world communication skills, bringing all the other habits into practical application.
We've reached our final habit, number 10, and it's a foundational one for sustained success. Set realistic goals and track progress. This isn't just about vaguely wishing for fluency, it's about providing essential direction with clear, achievable goals. While consistently tracking your progress ensures sustained growth and motivation throughout the entire journey. Without these, even the best intentions can kind of falter, right?
Well, absolutely. The real power here is that well-defined goals serve as incredibly powerful motivators. Research consistently shows their positive effects on engagement, persistence in any learning endeavor. Language acquisition included, goals provide a target, a reason to keep going, a benchmark for success. Theories like achievement goal theory specifically link specific, challenging yet attainable goal setting to higher levels of accomplishment and satisfaction. It's not just setting any goal, but setting the right kind of goal that resonates personally.
Goals you actually care about achieving.
Exactly. Furthermore, it's crucial to emphasize that self-generated goals chosen and defined by the learner themselves, not imposed externally, particularly foster greater resilience and commitment throughout the journey. When you own your goals, you're far more likely to stick with them through challenges, setbacks. Tracking progress, in turn, provides tangible proof of advancement, reinforces motivation, helps you adjust strategies as needed. It transforms abstract effort into concrete achievement, makes it real.
That's a powerful framework, setting goals that genuinely motivate you, then seeing the tangible proof of your efforts. So how can we effectively set these goals and track our progress in a way that truly supports our English learning, making it sustainable and exciting? What are some practical ways to get started without feeling overwhelmed by all the planning?
I think it's about making your goals a roadmap, not a rigid prison. Starting small, celebrating consistently, and adapting flexibly are key to sustained motivation. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Roadmap, not a prison.
I like that.
Okay, so here's some actionable advice. First, apply the SMART framework. Heard of this? Ensure goals are specific, what exactly, not just get better. Measurable, how will you know? Read one article daily. Achievable, is it realistic for you? Relevant, does it align with your fluency aim? And time-bound, by when? End of the month? This framework ensures clarity and effectiveness.
SMART goals provide that necessary structure.
Definitely. Next, try weekly journals. Keep a weekly journal, reflect on small wins, challenges, overall progress. This fosters a crucial sense of accomplishment, even from minor improvements, and enhances self-awareness about your learning patterns, what works best for you. To keep motivation high, incorporate milestone rewards. Celebrate achievements no matter how small. Set up personal rewards for reaching specific language milestones. Maybe buying that English novel you wanted, watching a movie without subtitles, finally. Positive reinforcement makes the journey more enjoyable.
Celebrating successes is really important.
It is. Be prepared for flexible adjustments. Encourage adapting goals as needed. In response to unexpected challenges, changes in circumstances, life happens. Maintaining a realistic, sustainable approach is far more effective than rigidly sticking to an unachievable plan and then giving up. For visual learners, trackers used can be very helpful. Use apps or simple spreadsheets to visually track daily practice, new vocab learned, conversation hours. Provides tangible proof of progress, which is incredibly motivating. Helps you see patterns too. Finally, for an added layer of commitment, consider group accountability. Share your goals and progress with a peer group, language partner, mentor. Fosters a sense of accountability and mutual support. Keeps you on track, motivated, knowing you're not alone.
These strategies for goal setting and tracking are indeed foundational. And we have such inspiring stories illustrating their power to drive real results. Take Elena. She aimed for fluency in 2 years, diligently tracked her monthly progress using a simple spreadsheet. Noted hours of listening, words learned, brief notes on conversations. This meticulous, consistent monitoring played a crucial role in her achieving fluency within her ambitious time frame, a testament to the power of structured progress and self-awareness.
So seeing the numbers helped her stay focused.
It seems so. Her breakthrough was realizing that seeing her progress, no matter how small, fueled her persistence more than any single lesson could have. Another remarkable example, Paco. At age 60, successfully learned English from scratch.
Wow, starting at 60, that's inspiring.
Isn't it? He used a combination of SMART goals. Set a target, learn 5 new words a day, have a 15-minute conversation with an online tutor 3 times a week. His success was largely due to meticulously setting and pursuing these well-defined goals. Proving age is truly just a number when it comes to language acquisition, if you have a clear plan and the determination to track it. These narratives powerfully demonstrate that strategic goal setting and consistent tracking aren't just helpful, they are foundational pillars for sustained language acquisition and ultimately for mastery.
Okay, wow, we've truly unpacked a comprehensive blueprint today. You now have these 10 powerful habits, all backed by solid science and compelling real-life stories, laying a clear, actionable path to your English fluency. From immersing yourself daily to setting SMART goals and tracking them, each habit builds on the last, creating this really holistic approach to language mastery.
And remember, fluency isn't really a final destination you arrive at, check off a list. It's a much more continuous journey of growth, discovery, deeper connection with the language and its cultures. It's about building a living, breathing relationship with English, which raises an important question for you listening. How will you begin weaving these insights, these habits, into the tapestry of your daily life starting today? Remember the profound, cumulative impact that small, consistent actions can have over time, transforming that aspiration of fluency into a tangible, deeply rewarding reality.
We truly hope this deep dive has provided immense value and sparked some new inspiration on your English learning journey. If you found this discussion helpful and insightful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more transformative content just like this. Your support helps us bring more deep dives like this one to you. Thank you so much for joining us.